Thousands of American researchers and skilled workers are booking one-way flights out of the United States because of Trump and the Republicans. They've made the US all but impossible to work in. And America's loss is Europe's gain. And here's what happens, why it matters, and it matters. And there's much more geopolitical analysis on my Substack, culturalperspective.com. Science and research are what drive American technology. It's impressive military, even the stock market. Researchers need stability, consistent funding, clear policy, and time to work. But Trump and the Republicans have frozen budgets and imposed a political agenda for much of the science done in the US. Trump froze $2.3 billion in funding from Harvard and threatened its tax-exempt status. Trump blocked $400 million for Columbia over campus protests. Even the National Science Foundation facing a $4.7 billion cut. This makes research all but impossible in the US. So, according to the Nature survey of 1,200 scientists, 75% are considered leaving the US. Their top destinations, Europe and Canada, and the numbers support the survey. Applications from American researchers to the European Research Council jumped 400% from last year. France has even launched a scientific asylum program offering refuge to academics in the United States that are under attack. The Trump Republican regime has also worked to block foreign students from entering the US and attending US universities. When researchers and students leave, they don't just take their skills, they take America's future with them. Science and education are two of the main engines of the US economy. They fuel innovation, industry, and defense. Foreign students alone bring in $44 billion every year. That's the entire annual GDP of some small nations. 1/4 of all American billion-dollar startups were founded by international students, and 80% of those startups have at least one immigrant founder or executive. If those minds stop coming to the US, that revenue doesn't just stop, it goes to another nation, Europe and Canada. Anywhere that supports research instead of killing it. And that loss doesn't stop at universities. It flows straight into the economy and the military. When research budgets are cut, defense projects slow down. When scientists leave, innovation leaves with them. Advanced materials, biotech, quantum computing, AI are not academic luxuries. They are the backbone of the American military, its global competitiveness. If the US loses its research base, it loses the pipeline that feeds its companies, its weapons programs, and its technological edge. That's why this matters, because every scientist who leaves, every grant that dries up, and every student who chooses Paris over Boston makes the US weaker and gives that strength to someone else. For perhaps the first time, the Trump Republican administration is planning for the long term, destroying America's ability to stay in power for decades.